Me's. Okay, all different people. What's up, family?
Daniel 12 verse 4, a great revealing, a great awakening rise. Don't stay asleep, children. The
I might have to
solid
start
rock
that
is
one
your
over. I like
foundation.
this.
Keep
I found
building
this rising, going
It
through
means
trying to
so
find a
much more
song, and
when it's pure.
this joint hit. This joint hit. I'm telling you. All right, come on in, come on in.
Stolen identity.
You know, we're gonna
Father, not
play
your
our
arm,
two
you got
songs.
limited reach. Still in the streets,
We're gonna play our two songs as usual, and then get right into it and study. That's the name of this song. It's called "Let's Study" by Darak Ibar. Let's study. This joint hit. Matter of fact, yeah. Let's start with that one. And the other one too. All right.
It's pure.
But come on in, fam. Come on in as we get it started. That's the last time I'm gonna restart this. I promise.
Stolen identity. When the father not your arm, you got limited reach. Still in the streets, Roman soldiers killing the sheep. The Almighty watching close as he sits in the seat. The shepherds beside him. There's an angel with a book who chose to believe and who never decided. In the belly of them ships with a special assignment. I know it's chains on us now, but it's heaven inside us. A generation that'll do what we never accomplished. Returning to the words that he said in his promise. In captivity with Torah, spreading his knowledge through faith in Hamashiach, cause his message is honest. There'll be platforms where they can reach millions. Daniel 12 verse 4, a great revealing, a great awakening rise. Don't stay asleep, children. The solid rock is your foundation. Keep building. One by one, back on the Father's time. The sun and the moon bear witness. Abba provided
Shalom.
signs. Changing the times and laws. Witness they idols rise. Constantinian rules, but we gon' silence the lies. How to survive, you gon' make it if Abba's your guide. Identity crisis, Ruach, breathe life in the tribes. Put your vices aside and let righteousness thrive. Made in his likeness, ain't no dimming the light that's inside. Good or evil, Abba gave us the right to decide. Plan B already had a sacrifice to provide. 2 BC, you couldn't miss it, a sight in the sky. A star headed east from Shinar, he finally arrived. Year 4000, a virgin gave life to the vine. Deliverance for captives, sight to the blind. I'm convinced it's the spirit that's writing these rhymes. Jacob's ladder, just imagine the height you can climb. Man, I've been waiting all day to get in this book. Let's get it. Where we at? Proverbs. It means so much more when it's pure. You can tell when it's inspired by the spirit. 22 letters as I open up this scroll. Could've asked for anything, but you want wisdom. That's impressive. He gon' trust you with his riches. Come to this wedding, bring your all, he about to visit. Don't know what's coming, I just know it feel different. 60 seconds to midnight, the last minute. Yeah, this that music you can fast to, study to this. I pray it's motivation for my brother and sis. Forgive your enemies, they know not what they do. Cause really they don't know who they coming against. Let's study. Wisdom is the principal thing. I read the book, close up the scriptures and think. This off the top of my head. Let the spirit speak. Just saying what I think off the top. I constantly see when I'm moving forward. Narrow path. And the Father showed us where we going through the prophets. They spoke thousands of years ago. Fast forward, now here we go. Look at us, we becoming ancient. Look at the looks on my brothers' faces. Can't believe we really here and that we live in this. No more pride, no more bitterness. Training our children up in the way that they should go. Maintain your innocence. Do his commandments with diligence. We stepped out on faith and we've been winning since. Yeah. If you lost your way, just start at Genesis.
Oh man. We're gonna play one more song and then we're gonna hop right into it.
Don't worry about it, just complete your task. Keep pushing. Look, I got a song for you right here. It go like this. Hey, Can't nobody say no when the Father say yes. If it ain't for me, it ain't for me, I ain't stressed. Hey, I just know he got in all my steps. Tell him they ain't seen nothing yet. Hey, prayers answered, I think he hearing us. The Savior's still alive, we ain't got that much time. Tighten up while you playing with that grace. Sitting before his face, when it pop off, you can't escape. When the trumpets blow, it ain't no wait. Let me get myself together, hold up. I wasn't ready, keep that all in your lamb.
Hey, Shalom, Bo Servant. What's going on, brother? Bruder. Praying all been well, man. I see you've been in a lot of lives, man, trying to get that knowledge. That's what's up. Keep on being hungry, man.
You ask me what this walk is all about, I'ma tell you flat out: repentance, endurance. You know, you gotta have the strength to keep going regardless of what it look like. The world say no, the Father say yes. No matter what they saying about you, to you.
Shalom, Big Bruder. What's going on, Big Bruder?
All of the
Shalom, Jesslyn. What's going on, sis?
Me, ain't nothing changed. Yeah, hey, overwhelmed. I fall to my knees. Father, thank you for this air that I breathe. My good.
Oh, it's all well, brother. It's all well, Bruder. You know.
You chose me. I don't understand. So many
that's why we record these things.
They have it all.
It's all right.
He don't call the prepared, he prepares the call. When he call, who gon' answer? Against the evildoers, who gon' stand up? Fearless, mercy to the stranger, the widow and her children. You do wrong and they rebuke you, that's a real friend. Hold on to that, that's priceless. These nations throwing stones at the throne, don't know what's going on, provoking him to anger. One day he gon' show him, the Lion of Judah. I don't think they ready. Euphrates River dry, we getting close to Armageddon. Whoa. Somebody better tell them who they playing with. The ruler of armies, yeah, the savior on his way again. Nations gonna be bowing down at his presence. The same mouths that blaspheme, confessing. I don't wanna get caught on the wrong side. When he crack the sky, it's gonna be terrifying. So it's the covenant we cleave to. Abba, have mercy on your children. We need you. We keeping the laws, commandments in your feast too. I'm trying to see that land of milk and honey. Got a sweet tooth. The devil is a lie. And we gon' preach truth. You get one life, ain't no sequel. The last season, Moedim, ain't no getting through them gates without that blood on you.
Shalom, Pastor Don. What's going on, brother? Great to see you. Pray your yam going well. You be safe out there, man. Be safe out there. I told a fib. I see this one song. I just want to play this one song. Hey, there we go. There we go. Look at Yah. Praise Yah. Praise Yah. I'm going to let this last one get in my zone, and we're going to get started. We're going to get started. I might play this song out for real, for real. Hey, Shalom, Big Bruder Darius. What's going on, brother? What's going on?
We just wanna be free, 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 freedom come. We just wanna be free, 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 freedom songs. We just wanna be.
And as always, if anybody wanted to come up, just send a guest request. Especially at the end, I'm gonna, bring people up if they want to. We're just gonna flow. This is Bible study. We're just gonna study. That's it. Connect all these things,
They gon' keep them sleep, gon' keep them snoozing. The riches of this world don't feel they loose. Never sell your soul in with that movement. We done made a covenant with Yah. Walking purpose, knowing who we are. Freedom coming, promise to the stars. The world where war is at. Free, 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 freedom come. We just wanna be free, 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 freedom songs. We just wanna be free.
Hey, Shalom, Brother Cole. Great to see you, brother. Pray your week's been going well. Great to see you.
Oh, Father, I pray we change. Oh, Father, the world's so vain. Oh, Father, please redeem us us from these chains. Amen. La olam. Give you praise, then chant a song. Through the woes, through the calm, in this moment and beyond. We wanna be free, just to serve you to our best ability, in spirit and virtue. Free, freedom's coming.
Aman. Let's get it. Time to get started. We're gonna go ahead and pray in. Make sure this is recording real quick. Hold on, fam. Making sure. All right. Let me move myself out. All right, Aman. Let us pray. Yahweh, Tada Abba, for safety, for fellowship, for family. Mayasapake, Mashpaka. And as we get into this lesson today, I just pray the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable in your sight as you've led me through this lesson. And as everything is connected, not just for this purpose, but for my life, I just want to say Tada Abba, because it's Yawesome. I'm grateful. And what I could give could never be enough, but I'll receive and I will give as much as I can. I pray that safety over everybody in this room, and peace and love and blessings. And as we get ready to dive in, I pray that it's received well and it's edifying, not just for me, but for everyone listening that comes in as long as they can. And I pray all these things in your Sham, Hashem Yahava, Hashem Yahashai, Hashem Ravak HaKodash, Aman, and Aman. All right. Shalom, family. Shalom. Shalom, Dr. T. Shalom, Barakatah. So today we're going to be talking about the weaver's beam, right? But we're going to get there in a second. But we're going to come from, we're going to hone in on 2 Samuel chapter 21. And that's where the main part of the lesson is going to come from. But this weaver's beam, whose standard are you really upholding, right? Whose standard are you really upholding? If you look in the picture, that weaver's beam is holding up some cloth, some threading. And the weaver's beam was something that was very, very prominent back in ancient times. It's described with Goliath's spear, and also of Elhanan or Al-Hanan, who we're going to study on, also had a weaver's beam. But first, I'm going to start out in Psalms chapter 60, verses 3 and 4. I'm going to read that real quick, right? And shalom, Sister Deborah. Shalom, everybody coming in. So Psalms chapter 60, verses 3 and 4. It says, "Thou hast showed thy people hard things, tough trials, growth, edification. Thou hast showed thy people hard things. Thou hast made us to drink the wine of astonishment. Yet thou hast given a banner to them that fear thee, that it may be displayed because of the truth, because of Amat, Selah." And that brought it back to the weaver's beam, because the weaver's beam will show you exactly what's being held up. It's going to show you the garment, like in the picture, right? It could be Babylonian of Jericho. Remember, we talked about that with Achan and how he picked up the garment, and what was supposed to be left in Babylon, nothing was supposed to be picked up through this, right? Or it could be Tabah of Yahashrael, right? And this will tell you exactly what you need to know about the situation, about persons, about governments, about politics, and things of that nature. But we'll get to the weaver's beam in a little bit. But we're going to get to how I was led there now. So 2 Samuel chapter 21. Go ahead and flip there. And shalom, Sister Sherry. Go ahead and flip there. We're going to dive in there in a second, right? But first, Brother TJ, Angelic Discipline, I was in his live, and he said something that I had to write down. And I'm glad that he clipped it and posted it, because I wrote it down word for word, and it was Jotham. It was righteous. It was righteous. He said every time there's a story of someone stepping away from standard, there's a reason why it's there, right? They wanted their own choice. They wanted this choice, that opportunity, this opportunity, and the stories come up of what happens from that. Now, not everything you need to have your hands on. And in 2 Samuel, Saul took it upon himself to do a work that he wasn't really called to do, right? Because not everything needs your hands on it. You can assist on many things, right? But sometimes the person just isn't ready to receive it yet. And sometimes it's not the time to do some things, and there's righteous order, right? Now we're going to start in 2 Samuel again. We're going to read chapter 21. We're going to start with verses 1 through 6 and kind of jump around in there, right? But we see in verse 1 that Saul is going against Yah's plan, and it brought famine. So we're going to start in chapter 21, verse 1. And it says, "Then there was a famine in the days of David, 3 years, year after year." And just real quick, sidebar, the 3 years, the Aleph by Gaimal, humility. Yet again, David was in a place of abasement. Salam, Brother Raj. What's going on, brother? David was yet abased, but it wasn't on him. It was from a work of previous generations, right? Of a previous rule. And it says there was a famine in the days of David, 3 years, year after year. And David inquired of Yahweh. David interceded. Because he said the first year, it was like, okay, there's a drought. Maybe it's something that's just, it is what it is. Second year, David was probably like, oh, I don't know what's going on. Third year, David said, hold up, wait a minute. Hold on now. This got to be a reason for this. This is 3 years of famine, right? And Yahweh answered and said, it's for Saul and for his house, because he slew the Gibeonites, right? And remember before we read about the Gibeonites and how they were deceitful, right? And how they came in trust with the people of Israel. We're going to keep things modern in pronunciation just to make it smoother today. But remember the Gibeonites, they came in deceitfully, right? Because Joshua didn't seek Yah first. These things happen. But now there's something attached because of that decision, and that it is what it is. It is what it is. But Saul took it upon himself to do something about that, right? And it brought famine. It brought emptiness, right? And little sidebars like don't become empty. Go where Yah leads you, yeah. Don't let any force stop you. Learn, grow, teach, fellowship, love, right? For we're one body. Help those that will let you help them, right? But proceed with caution. Proceed with caution. Don't become empty because you're right. Don't become empty because you'll mess around and spill things out that you're just not supposed to. And now you get to the next point, and now it's like, where's my oil? Well, you done dumped it out over here. And Yah said, don't do that. Yah said, I got that. Don't do that. I got that. What are you doing, right? You go, you learn, you grow. Because, I'm telling you, as you go, it's beautiful. It's amazing. I'm telling you, it's amazing, right? The build is amazing. I posted something last night. Well, early this rising technically. And I was in thought with Yah, and Yah was like, yo, when I'm leading you somewhere and it's something great and righteous and it's for you, right? Expect stones to be thrown. Expect that. But don't get distracted by it. That's your choice to get distracted by it. Yah Salam Akia, how's it going, sis? That's your choice to be distracted by that. It's one or two things that's happening. It's either righteousness that's being shown and rewarded, or it's righteousness that's being shown that needs to be worked on. Come on. It's one of those two things. No distractions. Come on, sis. No distractions. Keep your eye on the walk. Because if not, you're gonna trip and fall. Y'all shalom, Crystal. What's going on, big sis? Great to see you. Great to see you. But yeah, back to this. Back to this. Famine is a severe lack of food and necessities, right? Because we want to learn, we want to make sure we're honing in on what the definition of that is, right? But don't get to worrying at this point. Sometimes it gets stuck. Sometimes supplies get low, right? But when supplies get low, you get low. Get humble. Go ahead and pray to Yah. I mean, I've been hearing great testimonies this week. You know, I've been getting fed greatly this week, and it's been hitting. I mean, it's been hitting the soul, and it's because I've gotten on my knees and I'm like, yeah, I just need something. I need something right now. Like, there's a song that I grew up in, coming up in the church. I'm not gonna sing it, but it's like right now. Oh, right now, I need something, and he'll bring it to you. But when you worry, right? This is the thing about that. When you worry, you're putting yourself in control. And if you lose control to gain control, control was never there in the first place. But when you worry, you're putting yourself in control. You begin to make impulsive decisions, right? And this is talking about me because I got myself into this. But you're moving when you're told not to move, yet not moving when you're told to move, right? And you're literally stuck in a position, right? Right, trying to fix what's not broken. Exactly. Right? Shalom, sis. What's up, Shantae? And it's you're literally stuck because you're moving when you're told not to move, and yet you're not moving when you're told to move. Right? And I've had to get myself back in order because, yeah, no worries, big chillin' always brings you where you need to be. Exactly. Just let it flow. Let it flow. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the show, as they say, right? It's going to happen in due time. It's going to be righteous. It's going to be great. It's going to be awesome, right? But that, back to the famine, it's a severe lack of food and other necessities, like spiritually too, right? And it leads to widespread hunger. Think about what's happening here. What Saul's decision did for the house, right? This could even cause people to wander off to other places. So as leaders of Israel, leaders of Yisrael, right? Don't lose your footing. And this is all of us, because it's on us to go out here and bring all this together. It's on us to go out here and walk this walk righteously. Shalom, Auntie Michelle. Shalom, Mama Mavis. It's up to us to do this, right? And this is just a reminder, you know, not harping down on anybody, just a reminder. Y'all know I love my reminders. And this is me talking to myself as well for edification, right? But don't lose your footing. Don't lose your footing, because this will cause people to wander off to other places, right? The places that they just brought out of, right? And eat things that seem plentiful, right? But really, for real, to keep it 100, it's poisonous. It's poisonous. And then you're going to have to help them and nurse them back to life and their health, and because they wander off. Because we took a little bit too much time off. I mean, take some time off. Relax, right? Don't overdo it, Stephen. But know when to move, right? Famine is a spiritual lack, or a lack of spiritual nourishment, aka a spiritual drought. There was conviction on the hand of Saul, right? But why? But why? And again, it's because Saul took something into his hands that wasn't supposed to be. See, Joshua let the Gibeonites in, right? Remember in Joshua, what was it, chapter 9? Joshua let the Gibeonites in. The Gibeonites, they did the will, right? They came in kind of shaky, right? They came in kind of like, I'm gonna keep my eye on you. And I get why Saul did that. I'm not saying that it wasn't a zeal, right? It was a zeal for the righteous cause, for growth in law. But law is of the Father, right? But he had a great zeal for Israel, for Yahashua and Judah, right? Yehovah. He was the first king, right? But as we know, we already had a king. So this comes with some faults. Again, it's as a people. It's not just literally one person. Like, let's not zone in on one person, but as a whole. As a whole. This is just a reminder that we have work to do. And to be aware of the weaver's beam. Because the weaver's beam, as in the picture, it holds up the garment. Salah. That's heavy. It holds up the garment. Again, it could be Babylonian of Jericho, or it could be Tobiah of Israel. But the garment is going to show. Exactly. We already have a king. The garment is going to show. Like, are we wearing that Gucci, Louis, Prada? Y'all know it. Y'all know it too. Shalom, Minister Morel. Y'all know it too. That Gucci, Louis, Prada, or is it them fringes? That tunic? That head wrap? How we walking? Right? Now, his intent was there. Saul's intent was there. It was righteous intent, but there's always a but. His integrity was lost. His character was lost. Right? All of them, all 22. Allah Batab, right? His intent was there, and I get it, right? Again, the Gibeonites, they were slick. They were slick. Don't be like the emperor in new clothes. Oh, come on now. Come on now. Yep. Come on now. You already there, Bruder. Bruder, you know you work with them garments, right? Come on now. Now the Gibeonites, they were slick. They were. They came in like the emperor, but they try to put on some other clothes, and it was seen. It was seen later, right? But don't get fooled by that. Don't get fooled by that. They were slick on how they got in, but it was yet still again on Joshua. He didn't seek Yah first, right? This was part of the consequence of that. But from that happening with Joshua to the election of Saul, right? It led to David, but because of the unnecessary interference of Saul, him thinking that he knows what Yah wants, in a way, in a sense, right? We gotta put ourselves there. Put ourselves there in Saul's mind, like, keep it 100. He saw them Gibeonites there. And he was like, nah, bro, I'm not having it. I'm not having it. But the Gibeonites, they were allowed there. And when the land was allotted, right, it's like Joshua 18. Joshua 18, 11 through 18. There was land allotted to the Gibeonites. To the Benjamites, to the Benjamites, right? And it encompassed, or it surrounded, the Gibeonites, right? So Saul seen them. I was like, nah, I know how y'all got here. So if you know how they got there, Saul, but you just look past that little bit, right? So he's like, I know how y'all got here, but I don't want y'all here. Y'all didn't come in right. But they still had a trust with Yah, right? So Saul tried to physically move them out. Obviously, some of them were like, nah, Joshua, we had this treaty with our ancestors, with Joshua, with our grandparents, great grandparents, however many generations in between the two there was for many of them. But they were like, nah, we got this contract, we got this trust, and we sticking to it. So Saul said, okay, I'm gonna remove you because I'm king. But did anyone resist? Did anyone say anything? Did anybody call him out? Many probably just followed orders. We had to be those righteous ones to stand on truth when these things happen, right? That's the time to interfere. Not necessarily with the plan of what Yah has, but to interfere and say, let Yah's will be done, right? And just a reminder, we have work to do, especially out here nowadays. I mean, people are wilding. Can we agree? But just like in the days of Noah, these things were ordained to happen, right? Now, when this happened, when Saul did this, right, nothing happened immediately. They probably thought it was all well, that they did something right, and in a sense, like I get it, like flesh gonna flesh sometimes, but perhaps it wasn't his call. Did Saul forget about the bigger picture, right? But also with the Gibeonites, like random thinking about it, they gave respect to Yah in the sense of knowing that he's not somebody to be played with, not a force to be played with. They probably just wanted the benefits, right? I get it. But their faith could be easily shaken on them grounds, right? But again, Yahweh does not do coincidences, so apparently he allowed this to happen for a reason, and they are still his creation. But look at this nowadays. Nowadays, many people don't even give that much respect to see that, man, it's some righteous things going on over there. But they don't even try to look. Many rather have the riches, but don't know true riches. Many say we tripping because we be doing too much. But no, we're not stuck up. We're stuck to the hem of his garment. We're stuck to the culture. And it's fruitful. It's fruitful. Right? Now let's keep reading. So we're still in 2 Samuel 21. We're going to read through verse 6 all the way through this time, now that we got a background of what's going on. So verse 1, it says, Then there was a famine in the days of David 3 years, year after year. And David inquired of Yahweh, and Yahweh answered, It's for Saul in his house, because he slew the Gibeonites. And the king called the Gibeonites and said unto them, right? It says, Now the Gibeonites were not of the children of Israel, right? But of the remnant of the Amorites. And the children of Israel had sworn unto them, right? And Saul sought to slay them in his zeal to the children of Israel and Judah, right? Now verse 3, Wherefore David said unto the Gibeonites, What shall I do for you? And wherewith shall I make the atonement, that ye may bless the inheritance of Yahweh? That's accountability. That's some accountability right there. Right? That's some accountability at its finest. Verse 4, And Gibeonites said unto him, We will have no silver, nor gold of Saul, nor of his house, neither for us shalt thou off any man in Yahashrael. It's like, we're not going to do what he did, right, to the people, and we don't want none of your money. But this is about principle. And he said, What ye shall say, that will I do for you. And they answered the king, The man that consumed us or destroyed us, and that devised against us, that we should be destroyed from the remaining in any of the coast of Yahashrael. Because remember, they were allotted land. The Benjamites were allotted land, but the Gibeonites were already there, and it encompassed the land of the Gibeonites, right? And it continues to say what they wanted. Like, let 7 men of his sons be delivered unto us. We can get the rest of that. But for TikTok purposes, we're not going to read none of that, right? But this is what happened. This is what happened. But now humility, trust, right? Obedience. Saul had that. He started off like that, but he didn't maintain focus on being a Tabah Malakeh, or a Tabah, a righteous king. That's the important part. Like, let's concentrate on being the royalty that we are. Let Yah have his will. We don't need to interfere with everything, but we need to be ready when we're called, right? To the Malakahs and the Malakahs, right? Malakeh being king, Malakah with the kaf in there is like the wife of a king, or even to say who birthed a king, right? But Saul saw flesh, right? Say that fast 3 times. He didn't see purpose, right? But keep those purposeful eyes on the target. Again, this is just a reminder, right? But again, avoid unnecessary interference with y'all's plans. Honestly, like let's be real. Like the less I got to deal with, the better. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Not all matters are meant to be taken up with your hands. Let them rocks be thrown at you. Weave them. They're gonna make some impacts. But that's not your call to worry about. Right? As we say out here, my name Bennett and I'm not in it. Who is Bennett? I don't know, but he ain't in it. Right? Like I could walk down the street and hear some people like the other day I was walking down the street and I heard people talking about this whole LeBron thing and all that with Kevin Gates. I know y'all been seeing this going around. And they said, you know, ain't that right, bro? And I looked, I said, nah, they ain't got nothing to do with me. They was like, why not? And I looked at y'all, I said, okay, now I see your plan. I'm gonna tell them why I'm not worried about that. Like when it comes to politics, I don't politic. It doesn't concern me. These things are written to happen. The only thing CNN gonna tell me is what the Torah, what the scroll has already told me is going to happen. I don't need none of that. I have a plan. When I go into the Torah, people see, like I said before, I don't be worried about nothing but to do what I need to do and I'm ordained to do, because like it says in law, you know, in captivity, but we still had to be the best that we can, right? But a lot of this doesn't concern me. But just like if you see somebody that needs help, a lot of people will pass them up. A lot of people will pass them up. And you don't. And they may ask why. That's the time to step in. Right? Don't put your hands in the mixing bowl of the potter, right? You're all up in the way of let him mix it up. Let him mold the clay. You're over there making a mess and you're going to get your hands popped, Saul. Saul. Keep your hands out of it. Just like the days of Noah, sins are constantly being visited by Yah. Constantly. And time's not going to wear it out. Time's not going to wear it out. We're going to get to the Weaver's Beam in a little bit. And then we're going to go to verse 15 and we're going to read through verse 22. All right? And it says, moreover, the Philistines had yet war again. We're getting to the Weaver's Beam. The Philistines had yet war again with Israel. And David went down and his servants with him and fought against the Philistines. And David waxed faint. David got tired. And Ishbi-Benob, which was one of the sons of the giant, right? Of Goliath. Yes, David and Israel fought not just Goliath. There was a whole family of them that they had to go at. There's more than one, right? And the weight of whose spear weighed 300 shekels of brass in weight. He being girded with a new sword, thought to have slain David. But Abishai, the son of Zeruiah, secured him or rescued him, and smote the Philistine and offed him. The men of David swear unto him, saying, thou shalt go no more out with us to battle, that thou quench not the light of Israel. Because David, he was getting up there in age. He was getting a little tired, right? Verse 18. And it came to pass after this that there was again a battle with the Philistines. Again with the Philistines and the giants. At Gob, right? Then Sabbakai, the Hushathite, slew Soph, which was the sons of the giant. All these are of Goliath and his brothers, and there was more than one yet again. Many people, they think that David just fought Goliath. No, you think he went against Goliath and Goliath just said, okay, I'm going to leave it there. No, he had to go against the whole family. There's a whole thing that he had to go against, right? Verse 19, and there was a battle in Gob with the Philistines, where Elhanan, the son of Jerugim, the Bethlehemite, slew the brother of Goliath, the Gittite, the staff of whose spear was like a weaver's beam. Now we're getting to the weaver's beam, right? And there was yet a battle in Gath, where was a man of great stature that had on every hand 6 fingers, and on every foot 6 toes. 420 in number. And he also was born to the giant. And when he defiled Israel, Jonathan, the son of Shimea, the brother of David, slew him. These 4 were born to the giant in Gath, and fell by the hand of David, and by the hand of his servants. Right? Okay. So we see here that David got tired, but he didn't flee. Right? David always knew that there was purpose. He was then about to be attacked by a son of the giant's family, right? AKA Goliath. And David fought with the family of Goliath too, naturally, but it seems like a tactic that the enemy uses all the time, right? Right? Let's correlate that. When we're feeling low, something great or in appearance of great, because for real is going to be defeated through Yah, right? We already know that. That's why it's very important to watch what we say, because the enemy runs with that of the air, right? The enemy can run with that. But this giant thing, quote unquote, because it ain't really nothing, it's presented to take us out. It's presented to throw us off the will of the Father, off the will of Abba. But do you have the weaver's beam of Yah, like Elchanan did? Because you know Goliath of wickedness has his weaver's beam too. There's a garment that's being held up by that weaver's beam. When you're building something great, expect the rocks to be thrown at you. But look at that garment that's being held up. Both mighty. One mighty in wickedness, one mighty in righteousness. Elchanan was a Bethlehemite, just like David, because David was from Bethlehem too, right? But his weaver's beam was just as thick, because they talk about, when they talk about the weaver's beam, it's the thickness of it, because that weaver's beam in the picture, you'll see the strings, like it has to hold up a lot of tension, right? There's weights that's held down with the strings. And as things are woven and weaved, that weaver's beam still has to hold the tension. But eventually, Yah don't break. But wickedness will. Right? But then you can also think, like, how did both of them have a weaver's beam? Because Goliath is supposed to be this large, and Elchanan, he's not one of the giants. But think about this. Goliath was said to be like 9 or 10 feet tall, roughly. Rough estimate, right? 9 or 10 feet tall. Now, I'm 6 feet. 5'11" on a bad day, right? 5'11" on a bad day. But still, max, that's only 4 feet taller. Like, let's think about that, right? Let's think about that. That's not crazy. I'm not sleeping on no Goliath. I'm not gonna sleep on him, because sleep wouldn't get slept on. Like, don't do that. But it's not that bad. It's not that great. It can be defeated, right? They have obvious strength, but now the weight of that spearhead, right? That's roughly like 15 or 16 pounds when I was researching that, roughly. If you want to push it to 20 to cover bounds, you can. But throwing that across the battlefield, that ain't no joke. Like picking up a 25-pound dumbbell and try to throw that, see how far you get. Or a 20-pound, or a 10-pound. Right? The strength of it can be intimidating. But we're not here to debate that. But the weaver's beam stood out. And the description isn't used often. Now again, the weaver's beam is described because of the thickness of the spear. Right? There's lines that's taut and weighed down and had to be held up by this beam. Like, let's put that metaphorical mind on again, right? It couldn't be fragile to the tension. Caught that? It couldn't be fragile to the tension. It had to withstand the trials. In one case, it had to hold up a 20-pound spearhead, right? But we're going to focus more on the whole weaving setup, including the weaver's beam, right? So if you look at the picture, okay? The beam at the top holds up the finished woven garment, right? So look at the beam at the top. That's the weaver's beam. That's actually the weaver's beam, okay? Now, the beam at the top, it holds up the finished woven garment, or the blanket, or flag even, right? So let's go back to, that's why I was led to Psalm chapter 60, verses 3 and 4. Let me go back there real quick. Salam up the rock, but Bruder TJ. I was just talking about you, man. You started me off somewhere, and I appreciate you. I harbor you for that. And, I harbor you listening to the call of Yah, of our Father. Our Father's peace be upon you, right? And that's why I came from Psalm 60. It says, "Thou hast showed thy people." Now it's going to make some more sense. We're going to bring this all together. "Thou hast showed thy people hard things," right? As many times by life. Thou hast showed thy people hard things. You have showed thy people Goliath with the same spear, with the same thickness of we could say resistance, right? Resist wickedness or resist righteousness. The choice is yours. "Thou hast showed thy people hard things, many giants. Thou hast made us to drink the wine of astonishment. Yet thou hast given a banner to them that fear thee." Now you see how all this is coming together? "Yet thou hast given a banner to them that fear thee." What is that right? Let's see if I can do that. What is that right there? Right? That's what we're talking about. "That it may be displayed because of the truth." Right? Now what truth is being displayed? It'll be easy to see. It'll be worn like the garment. It'll be right there in front of your eyes. But now let's get back to this, to breaking this down, this whole weaving process down. And I don't know how to weave, but some might, you know. Yasalam Hawanda, how you doing? Yeah, so the beam at the top holds up the finished woven garment or blanket or even flag, right? But what's been woven together? Is it righteousness? Is it ridicule? Is it hate? Is it strength? Is it determination? I mean, the list could keep going. There's righteous ways to handle things, right? And again, some people might not want to hear it at first, but wait for them to be ready to hear it. And if not, let Yah do that, right? There's times to separate. There's reasons for agreement to end, right? But here it wasn't. Saul put on that garment of the flesh of that emperor, like Dr. T was talking about. That garment of the emperor, like he put that on for a second, and it ended up tainting generations. And you didn't see it immediately. You don't see it immediately, but these decisions could have great consequences, great famine, great droughts, right? Now again, weaving was prominent in ancient times, and it took skill and precision, right? Now the weaver's beam, this is where it gets kind of interesting. This is where, as me and sis say, the nerd got activated. Now, what is your skills? What is your labor? Are you working diligently and edit daily? Just like Big Bruder over there with his garments, right? He knows all about this. Like, this is how, if you want to say, like back in the day, Big Bruder would have been working with this, right? But now weaver's beams, they use warp yarn, right? WARP, right? There you go, sis. I knew you were gonna catch that. Now weavers used warp yarn. Why is it called that? Right? Now at first I thought now warp yarn, it sounds like it's like something that's warped, something that's not really even, right? We could kind of roll with that, but I asked, and I went down the rabbit hole, so we about to go down the rabbit hole. So the term warp in weaving, right, refers to the lengthwise yarn, so the yarn that goes across, right? And we're describing that picture. Now the warp yarn in weaving refers to the lengthwise yarns that are stretched taut on the loom, right, forming the foundation of the woven fabric. They are weft threads, WEFT. Now these are woven over and under the warp threads. Now some call it the filling yarn, right? Now the word warp, W-A-R-P, comes from the Old Norse word varp, V-A-R-P. Again, that varp before the warp, right? But we're not even gonna do that. Y'all picking up what I put down. But the word varp means the cast of a net. I said, okay, my greatness. All right. That's tough. Right? Now the term warping describes the process or arranging these lengthwise yarns on the loom, ensuring they are properly aligned and under tension before weaving, like a net, right? This covers, again, the metaphorical mind, the law. So now we have the weaver's beam now holding up the net of law, that fisher's net, There's a difference between pole fishing and net fishing, right? So therefore, you got to aim your steps, right? Rocking and rolling, casting nets, going with the water and the waves, right? Be like your hot spot. Your hot spot be chilling. Yeah, I was trying to say, why y'all wake me up with all this complaining and worrying for? But yeah, so now we're holding up the net of the law, right? Yeah, the garment being an intimate thing, right? What are you intimate with? That's a great point. That's a great point because the garment shows literally what you're intimate with. Those woven threads in and out. Those mist stitches, right? The mist stitch, right? It shows what you're intimate with. It shows, all right, say somebody sees me walking around with a garment Bruder Charlie made for me with my fringes on, or if they could see me with an Adidas suit on. Nah, well, we could say that, or a Gucci Louis Prada suit, right? They ain't gonna say, all right, you spent your effort, all the effort and all your work you put into that, or all your effort and all your work you put into this, right? It shows what you're intimate with. It takes a lot of time. Like imagine those people using that machine right there, right? And how like it's a very tedious process, right? It's something that I can't I wouldn't be the one, right? It's a labor of love. It takes time. It's an intimate process. Exactly. Right? And it shows like I was watching a video and that top bar, that weaver's beam, it's gotta be moved up and down. So like when you move it down, it gives some slack, right? For what's in you will be on you. Come on now. That's right. And when you release that tension, right, it opens up the threads for the weaving, for the yarn to go in and out, right? So it literally shows your life. It shows your life. Now what's woven into it, right? It could be a lot of life lessons, right? It's a lot of pain, a lot of hurt, maybe some cuts, right? Maybe something might have dripped on there, right? There might be a stain on there. Now you're gonna clean that stain off, or you're gonna clean that out, or you're gonna leave it there. That literally shows what you're intimate with, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Big Bruder, like this one right here, made me think about you a lot, for real, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna fib to you. I just heard my mama in my head. I ain't gonna fib to you, right? So therefore, you got to aim your steps, right? Right? Now, see, as a weaver, you have the weaver's beam that you pull up and down again to alternate which strings, put on that metaphorical mind, to alternate which strings are above the others, right? Which strings are you really going to use? And apologies for the background noise, if y'all hear that. But then you pass the sideways strings in between, and that's the weaving process, remember, right? So that's saying many things. 1 second. Select two objects that are the same shape. Oh man, they done changed up. Okay. Boom. That right? All right, bet. I was thinking the same way Baby Buddha stopped saying that. Yeah, exactly. All right, great. All right, so yeah, so see, as a weaver, you have the weaver's beam that you pull up and down to alternate which strings are above others. Then you pass the sideways strings in between, and that's the weaving process, right? So there's a lot of ins and outs, up and downs, ebbs and flows of this way of life, right? When it comes to the weaver's beam, there's a lot. So I could definitely relate, couldn't say. Exactly, right? I think that was a cultural thing, it seems like. I don't know where it came from, but that's what it is. Yo, but so that's saying, like, again, many things had to be lined up just right to fulfill Abba's will or to fulfill wickedness. Because you can make, again, like being intimate, it's showing what you're intimate with. It shows that the things that you lined up could be righteousness or it could be wickedness, right? If not, this can mess up things in the long run, right? If you don't pay attention to this. Because you could put on a garment and see that you got a missed stitch and now you got a hole in your garment, right? It could mess things up in the long run, just like Saul with the Gibeonites. When Saul did that, it put a hole in the garment, right? It put something in there that wasn't supposed to be there. It was a stain on there, right? Now, the one thing you don't want is a coffee stain on a white garment, that purity garment, right? You don't want that. It's hard to get out. but it's gonna be a little remnant of it still being there, right? Like this Weaver's beam part, they got real interesting, and it didn't. I'll be honest with you, it did not look interesting to me at all when I first saw it. I was like, man, but yeah, through Ravak, it's like you're gonna study this, Stephen. You're gonna study this, right? But it got interesting. It got interesting, right? So many things had to be lined up just right to fulfill Abba's will. If not, this could mess things up in the long run, right? Now, do you have a righteous weaver's eye? Like Big Brother, like you gotta put your eye on it. Like you can't just throw anything on there. You gotta make sure you know where to set up, how it lines up. If it's a little crooked or if you gotta straighten it out. Sometimes you just gotta throw it out and start over, right? Just like with stitching. Like my nana, many people like in my family were stitching coming up. Now to think of it, and I believe Big Sister Crystal, she be doing some stitching too. I believe I've heard. I could be wrong. I could be thinking about somebody else, but it's a lot of intimate weaving in there. You gotta see a pattern, right? Um, yeah. Am I lagging? Just let me know. I could hook up to a Wi-Fi spot, but textiles. Yep, exactly. Um, but you had to choose both. Oh snap! I ain't know that. Both my big sisters be okay. All right, that's right. The hat. I forgot all about that. That's right. Um, but it takes a lot of precision, like, and you got to sit there for a great while, just going in and out. It is buffering. All right, one sec. Let me 1 sec. I believe I know why. I believe I know why. All right, one sec. Oop. All right, fam. Let's see, how about now? Is that better? Oh no, we great. We great. I can pick up where we left off. We got a whole nother hour. Yeah, just let me know if that's better. Let me know if that's better. I'm assuming. I'm assuming. But I'm gonna go still buffering. Huh. Hmm. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna try it like this. I'm gonna go back to here. Hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with this. I'm gonna stick with this. But let's see. So back to the weavers, the warp yarn. Let's see. But it's recording, so on my end it'll be recorded smooth. I reckon. Oh, I see what happened. I see what happened. I'm gonna have to fix that today. They're talking about gigabytes I done used up. I thought I was on unlimited. All right, now that makes sense. That makes sense. My bad, y'all. My bad. Um, But yeah, we're gonna rock out with this. Mm, But yeah, so you gotta make sure everything's lined up right. So boom, just like with it's still a lot better. All right, bet. Um, but I'm still gonna go outside. We still gonna go outside. It's beautiful outside. But as I'm walking outside, um, just like when I was starting this lesson, right? I had to first think about. There we go. There are my keys. I had to think about like what's being lined up here, right? I had to search the background, the authenticity. I had to find the common ground. I had to go with like the contextual facts because everything had to line up correctly, right? Oh yeah, it's a beautiful day outside. It's a beautiful day. Yeah, remember building back up that wall righteously, right? How we talked about before, building up that foundation and getting that soil back right and getting those materials back up right and having to cultivate a little bit, right? Having to get things back in order a little bit. It's the same thing that's going on here, lining up things in the righteous, correct way, right? Now again, the weaver's beam that you pulled up and down, we're gonna start back over, pulling up and down to alternate which strings are above others, right? So just like we had to go back through with getting this righteous foundation right, to getting everything back in order, you had to get the same things lined up. So go for the background, authenticity, common ground, contextual facts, not just in study, but especially in people, right? Search out the truth, but search out that in the persons too, not just in your life, but in everyday life, right? And whatever you're going through, keep that righteous eye in tune. Keep that righteous eye locked in. What's being reflected in persons? Of whom do they truly stand for? What store did they get them clothes from? Or did they get it from the community? What has been woven together? Is it at the right tension? Or does it hold the weight? Right? Now, well, we're about to hit the close anyway, so this works. But the weaver's beam, right, it stands out and it sits above the process, right? It stands out and it sits above the process. It holds the process. Just look at that weaver's beam. It holds the process, as we should, when it comes to the word versus the world, versus the cosmos, versus the system. Same as does Yahweh, right? So is that the beam of righteousness of Yahweh that sits above? Because look at that, how the beam sits above everything else, right? So that beam is holding up everything else right here. The whole process. It's holding up that garment too, right? So that standing up above the process, that's holding up the garment, is it wickedness? Or is it righteousness? Right? Keep that eye trained. Keep that eyesight locked in. Be able to look around and see that sometimes when you're on this path of life and you've been somewhere, right? Because a lot of times all we're telling people is that the experiences that we've been through, right? All we're telling people is, all right, I know I've been down that path. I've seen that rock, and around that corner there's a wall. But make sure you watch yourself on the top of that hill, because there's a drop right there, right? So make sure you walk down that hill sideways instead of straight down so you won't tumble forward, right? But don't move too fast, because if you move too fast, right, your body will fall before your feet, and then you end up tumbling, right? But take your time. Take it one step at a time. Don't worry about rushing around in things. But also know that you don't have to have your hands in everything, just like that mixing bowl pot scenario we talked about before with the potter. Potter being Yahweh, right? Yahweh has this in control. Don't keep putting your hands in that bowl because that's his bowl. He's doing what he needs to do. You keep putting your hand in there, you're going to make a mess and you're going to end up getting your hand popped, right? If Yahweh says the stove is hot, don't touch it. Don't touch it because the stove is hot, right? Let Yah be Yah, exactly. Like, don't worry about trying to get everything in order because you can't see everything in order. Y'all caught that? Don't worry about putting everything in order because you can't see everything, right? Just like we talked about last week with the Yah's eye view. I'm loving how all this is coming together. I did not see this coming, obviously. See? Proof in the pudding. But just like last week we were talking about I just lost the thought. No, if it come back, it'll come back. But just like let Yah be Yah. Man. Oh well. It'll come back if it's supposed to. But just like letting Yah be Yah, don't get your hand popped by trying to reach your hand into things that you're not supposed to. Don't forget to abase and abound. There we go. Don't forget to abase and abound because just like David is in another abased moment, but it wasn't because of him, right? Not this time. But there's going to be a time, but it's like it's abasing and abounding. Knowing how to be without a foundation, it feels like, but knowing the foundation is there, but it's just a little off right now. But knowing how to abound, knowing how to reach up and look up to the sky for like a minute, and I guarantee it's therapeutic. I do it a lot, right? But don't be like that wibbly wobbly man commercial. I don't know if y'all know what I'm talking about, but like the man that gets blown up with the air, but he, is weaving and wobbling, but it's not going nowhere, reaching and reaching and reaching, but has no foundation, right? Because it's has the wrong weaver's beam, right? Now, again, the weaver's beam stands out and sits above the process. It holds the process, as we should when it comes to the word and the world, or the system, or the cosmos. Right? His Yahweh's strength alone will be victorious over every weight and pull of his children. So that's, let's see if I get that back. That's Yah. All these strings, all those cross threads, that's us. He's holding us up. All that pulling, all that tension, because there's weights at the bottom of this down here, right? There's weights right here at the bottom that holds these strings taut, right? And now this weaver's beam has to be dropped down some, so sometimes you can weave the sideways strings, right? So you can weave that in and out, right? But it's all in control. This is the Yah's eye view. Or it could be the wickedness, right? But I guarantee that wickedness, that's a weak one. That's a weak weaver's beam. That weak weaver's beam, it's going to snap eventually. It ain't going to hold up to much eventually. But Yahweh, overall, because he is the creator, who could have more pain for the creation than the creator, right? He's holding all of us up. So every pull, every cut, every loss, Yashalam, General Big Bruder, like every pull, every twist, every cut, every turn, Yahweh is still holding us up, right? Remember Elchanan, right? Elchanan, because El, like Elohim, or Al-Alachayim, like depending on your dialect, but Elchanan, we'll use that. He had a weaver's beam, but his was of righteousness, the Bethlehemite, right? So remember and be thankful that Yah is still holding us up. But sometimes some things had to be cut off, right? But yet let Yah be Yah with that, right? Let him defend us. Over every weight and pull we give him, he still holds us up, right? All the other ones, they'll snap, break, become dust yet again. Now when that dust settles, and it becomes dust, let that dust settle and let it be dust. Don't kick that dust back up. Wipe your feet off of that. Wipe your feet off. Wipe the dust off your feet. Keep going. Go back into the house. Go back into the lob, the heart, right? And every weight that's heavy on you, as we know the scripture, cast your burdens before Yah. Apparently he could hold it up anyway. Right? Apparently he got you anyway. Right? The most beautiful garments have woven in defeat, suffering, struggle, loss, disappointment, heartbreak. I mean, the list keeps going, right? But yet still reflect the beauty of Yah, because the struggle is the strand. The struggle is woven, right? It can still be used. But that's not the color that has to be shown. Amen. Keep aiming those steps. Just like with this, because I was going to come out of Gad the Seer. We're just talking now. That's pretty much the lesson. But I was coming out of Gad. I was going to come out of Gad the Seer today, right? I'm telling you, that country slur be coming in, that southern slur. But I was going to come with Gad the Seer today, but I had to first make sure that my steps were aimed right. I had to first make sure that everything lined up correctly, right? The context, the background, the common ground, the contextual facts. But you just gotta aim your steps like the weaver. Aim your steps like Elchanan. Elchanan saw the giant and was not shook up by it. He said, "Oh, I remember David had something like this before. I remember Job had something like this before." Right? Different times, but just the same example. But he said, "I remember David had something like this before. But I don't have no slingshot, but I have this weaver's beam. I have the same thing. So I'm gonna show this giant what the real weaver's beam can do, right? I'm gonna show this giant that I know how to step with it too. I'm gonna show this circumstance that it's not gonna last long, right? Because time does not wear out sin, right? But it can show you how to walk, right? There's still stuff you have to atone for. There's still things that go on. There's still things that you've done. There's a lot of things, but that's already woven in. What's the next strand gonna be? What's the next step gonna be? Shalom, Shabbat, how's it going? How's it going? What's the next one gonna be? We got work to do. We got works to do. But yeah, I think that's about it. Just be righteous, keep moving how you're supposed to move. Keep connected with family. Don't let any force, any man, anything stop you from going out here and learning and gleaning from people. This is the lovely part about this walk, because there's so many people out here that you have yet to meet and come across and speak to and glean from, and watch what you're gleaning. Proceed with caution. Don't be like Saul and say, "Oh, I'm just going to take this and run with this." No. Study to show yourself approved. Think about this, right? I'm just going down things that's gleaned from the lesson that I gleaned from it. But yeah, just remember these things, fam. That there ain't no giant that can't fall. Doesn't matter how many of them. Because remember, like we learned earlier today, and we saw in scripture, because line upon line, precept upon precept, that there wasn't just Goliath. There's a family of giants. There's just not one test. There's a lot of tests, right? But they all will be defeated. It doesn't matter if they try to come up and sneak the word, right? Because what they saw, right? They saw that above all, the word was important. Not the man of David, but what David represented, right? They saw that had to be above everything. That had to be protected. That had to be held up, right? That weaver's beam. And look for little things like that, because, well, not little things, great things like that, and details like that when you're reading in scripture, because that leads you to a whole nother understanding and meaning, as we've seen today. I would have never cared to mind a single thing about a weaver's beam. I'm telling you, I read past that plenty of times. Like, weaver's beam, okay, whatever that is. Weaver's beam, all right. But no. When things stick out like that, that's Ravak. Dive into that. Keep that metaphorical mindset, right? Study. 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 Um, but yeah. Yep, I'm gonna close out again with that Psalms. It keeps coming up. Like, I love this. I love this one. Psalms chapter 60, verses 3 and 4. Thou hast showed thy people hard things. Thou hast made us to drink the wine of astonishment. Yet thou hast given a banner to them that fear thee, that respect thee, that it may be displayed because of truth, because of Amat. We'll keep on reading. That thy beloved be delivered. Save thy right hand and hear me. Who's at the right hand of the Father, right? Just like this. This is how we break things down, right? We're just going to let Ravak lead now. That thy beloved may be delivered. Save thy right hand and hear me. Who sits at the right hand of the Father? The righteousness, the door, the word, right? Elohim has spoken in his holiness. I will rejoice. I will find joy again in this trial. I will divide Shechem. Okay, this is with yeah, that's right, Joab. Yep. And mete out the valley of Succoth, right? Let's jump down to verse 9 as Ravak leads. Who will bring me into the strong city? Who will lead me into Edom? Will not thou, O Elohim, have cast us off? O Elohim, didst not go with our armies? Give us help from trouble, for vain is the help of man. Come on now. Vain is the help of man. That sounds like putting your hand into something you shouldn't have your hands in. That's what that sounds a whole lot like. That sounds a whole lot like Saul. Through Elohim, through the righteous direction, we shall do valiantly. For he, it is that shall tread down our enemies. See, let Ravak lead. That's a perfect example. Just let Ravak lead. I think with sermons, right, writing these things out and studying these things, you want to be impactful with it, right? Let's just be real. Like, you want to make sure it sounds great, sounds edifying, but don't let that cut things off. Don't just sit in on the part that you find great, because there's more reading to do, there's more jumping in to do, right? Man, and especially with David and these songs, like with David, man, David's that dude, yo. David's that dude. But yeah. But yeah, I reckon that's about it. We're gonna stop there. Right? Speak to listen, listen to hear. Exactly. Be quick to hear and slow to speak. Right? A lot of silence is necessary. Like I used to get talked about for silence, right? And I'm gonna bring some people up if they got anything to say. If not, just go ahead and chill there. But I'm bringing Big Bruto up as always. Let the rock lead, because that hit Joab in Psalms. Yeah, that was Joab. Yeah, Psalm 60. The return of the smote of Edom in the valley, right? That's what that one was. I mean, shoot. Matter of fact, I was gonna read what was it? It was 2 Samuel. Because it was going to be chapter 22. So we could go ahead and read. Through that. That'll be all right. And we'll end it right there. Yeah. Oh, greatness. That's 51 verses. We're going to read that, though. And then we're going to close there. And it says, and David spake unto Yahweh the words of this song in the day that Yahweh had delivered him out of the hands of all his enemies and out of the hand of Saul. Right? And he said, Yahweh is my rock, my fortress, and my deliverer, the Elohim of my rock, the righteousness of my standing. In him I will trust. He is my shield and the horn of my salvation. Remember Ephesians 6 and Galatians 5, right? The armor of Elohim and the fruits of the Spirit, the fruits of the Spirit, right? Verse 3, verse 4, I will call on Yahweh, as in intercede, because remember David interceded on the famine that was going on in the land, right? David saw that it was 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. That's too much. It's time to get down and pray, right? I will call on Yahweh, who is worthy to be praised. And there's also praises in the places, right? There's praises in the places that we're getting to, that's waiting to be given to Yahweh. Once I realized that, because I thought about all the trials I've been through and every place that I've been to and been through, right? It's a praise there, right? Rocking and rolling, traveling, visiting, and casting nets, right? As we go on this walk, we're nomadic. We move, we do this, right? But there's a praise on the inside that I can't keep to myself. I think that's how the song goes, right? And when you get there, give them praises to Yah. So you knowing that, have confidence in that where you're going and what you're going through, there's a lesson and there's a praise. There's a pain, but there's a praise, right? So shall I be saved from my enemies. Verse 5, when the waves of calamity compassed me or surrounded me, the floods of ungodly men made me afraid, right? Yah inhabits our praise. Amen, exactly. It says, the floods of ungodly men made me afraid. Who do you think he's talking about? He's probably talking about them giants. And even Saul. But he touched not the anointed, right? Amen. The sorrows of Sha'al compassed me about. The snares of calamities prevented me, right? In my distress, I called upon Yahweh and cried unto my Elohim, and he did hear my voice out of his temple, and my cry did enter into his ears. So as I start a lot of prayer, and I say, as Yah does, I'm not asking him like he doesn't, but bend your ear to me, Yah. If I'm in righteous standing and you are able to hear and see me, right? All praises to our provider of substance and mercy. Amen. Praise through the pain. Exactly. Come on now. We just letting Ravak lead. And he did hear my voice out of his temple, out of his dwelling place. All right, there goes that temple. Talking about the rebuild. Remember that part? His dwelling place and how he is the refining wall of fire of that dwelling place. But yet my cry did enter into his ears. It wasn't cut off. He did not turn his back because I've been in righteous position, right? Amen. Verse 8, then the earth shook and trembled. The foundations of Shamayim moved and shook because he was wroth. There went up a smoke out of his nostrils and fire out of his mouth. Devoured. Coals were kindled by it. He bowed the heavens also and came down, and darkness was under his feet. Tread upon. And he rode upon the cherub and did fly. And he was seen upon the wings of the wind. And he made darkness pavilions round about them, dark waters, and thick clouds of the skies, right? Consider him in all things. Come on now. Because he is there. The Yah's eye view. Remember last week we were talking about, that's what it was. How we're in here in this live fellowship and righteously, right? But all these things are going together as they should in righteousness, right? Through the brightness before him were coals of fire kindled. Yahweh thundered from Shamayim, and the Most High uttered his voice. He heard you. He sent out arrows and scattered them. Lightning and discomfited them, right? And the channels of the sea appeared. The foundations of the world, of the system, of the cosmos were discovered. It was shown, right? Right? It was shown what it was. Exactly the Yah's eye view. And the channels of the sea appeared. Sounds like the foundations of the world, right? And how those geysers and the water from under the oceans, how the land came up from that, how the sprouting of that happened, right? The foundations of the world were discovered, and the rebuking of Yahweh, right? Of the system and everything like that. And the blast of his breath of his nostrils, he sent from above. He took me. He drew me out many waters. He delivered me from my strong enemy, from them that hated me, for they were too strong for me. They prevented me in the day of calamity, but Yahweh was my stay, my support, my weaver's beam. He brought me forth also into a large place. He delivered me because he delighted in me. Yahweh rewarded me according to my righteousness, according to the cleanness of my hands, and he recompensed me. For I have kept the ways of Yahweh, and have not wickedly departed from Elohim. I have not wickedly departed from the righteous direction, right? For all his judgments were before me. And as for his statutes, I did not depart from them. I was also upright before him, and have kept myself from mine iniquity. That's a constant thing that's read in the scriptures, right? Therefore, wherefore, Yahweh hath recompensed me, according to my righteousness, according to my cleanness in his eyesight. With the merciful, thou wouldst show thyself merciful. And with the upright man, thou wouldst show thyself upright. You're going to give what you get. You're going to get what you give, right? Verse 27, with the pure, thou wilt show thyself pure. And with the froward, thou wilt show thyself unsavory. It's not going to sit right with many people at times, right? It's not going to sit right. A lot of people will spew it back out. I wish I knew if you were hot or cold, but the lukewarm would be spit out, right? Come on now. With the pure, thou wilt show thyself pure, and with the froward, thou wilt show thyself unsavory. What's pure? What's pure? It's going to edify you. That won't always be received. What's pure? Pure is going to medicate you, for lack of better words, but it's not always going to settle, right? Some medicines we aren't supposed to be taking. Go back to the natural things, right? The natural, the original intent, but not a lot of people want that. Just like the bitter herbs coming out of Passover, right? The bitter herbs encompass a lot in that meaning, right? A lot of what we've been through, a lot of what we came out of, right? But it's savory, yet unsavory. Sometimes it's not going to feel right. Sometimes it's going to hurt. Sometimes it's going to make your stomach feel, ugh. It's going to bubble, right? It ain't going to be right. But it's pure. Original intent. It makes you think about the castor oil my mama used to make me take, and it was some nasty stuff. I mean, some nasty stuff. But it worked. It was better than going to the store and getting some Zantac or something, because you don't know what that's doing to your body, right? Well, let's keep going. Praise God. And the afflicted people thou would save. Take the cut. Bitter for the belly, the second mind, intuition, house of the soul. Come on now. It's getting all that back to original intent. I love that. Yeah. Bitter for the belly, the second mind. Because the belly is the second mind. Okay. Intuition, the house of the soul. What are you digesting? What are you letting become part of the body? Come on now. And the afflicted people thou wilt save, but thine eyes are upon the haughty, that thou mayest bring them down. For thou art my lamp, my direction, the beam of light, as they say, right? O Yahweh, and Yahweh will lighten my darkness, right? That light, that light in the dark places. What do you let it become a part of the body? Exactly. Remember the Gibeonites? Okay, boom. The Gibeonites. That Joshua let that happen because he didn't seek Yah first, right? And Yah had to be the pure thing, right? But even with that sickness being there, you know, because we're not going to say the Gibeonites didn't even try. They feared and respected for the wrong reasons. Yes, we could say that, but they still feared and respected. And a lot of times that's all that needs to be shown is the faith. Because once that seed is planted, once that's planted in there, let Yahweh be the increase after that. As we always say, let Yahweh be the increase. Let him light the darkness. Because I guarantee that darkness will run away once that light is in there. I think Dr. T was talking about that yesterday. Right? Darkness is supposed to flee when that light's there. Verse 30. For by thee I have run through a troop. Ain't it? But my Elohim have I leaped over a wall. That Jericho. Even back in Jasher, they used to talk about, I think it was Naphtali, how he would leap so high Like there was, like, think about it. Like we used to be able to do some great things. I was about to say some crazy things, but it's not crazy. It's great. Like we used to let out a scream that would shake down walls, right? Able to leap bounds, right? Remember the sons of Jacob, of Jacob, when they messed with their sister. You remember what they did to them people? Come on now, abounding. That's another one. That's a great description. Verse 31, as for Elohim, his way is perfect. The word of Yahweh is tried. He is a buckler to all them that trust him. A buckler being a shield, right? Praise Yah. For who is Elohim? For who is Elohim? Save Yahweh. And who is a rock? Save Elohim. I like that. For who is the righteous direction, right? What's the direction you're going in? Have you thought about Yahweh? That standard, the thing you're standing upon, did that come from the righteous direction? Come on now. Elohim is my strength. Oh, let me close that. And my power. And he maketh my way perfect. He maketh my feet like hinds' feet, and setteth me upon the high places. He teacheth my hands to war, so that a bow of steel is broken by mine arms. Come on now. He teaches my hands to war, so that a bow of steel is broken by mine arms. Whatever it is that's used to be launched at you, it can be the strongest of things, right? From wood to steel, but it can be snapped and broken through Yah. Right? Them arrows gonna miss, and they won't be able to send another arrow your way. Let Yah be Yah. Let Yah, Yah. Right? Verse 36, thou hast also given me the shield of thy salvation, and thy gentleness hath made me great. Thou hast enlarged my steps under me, bigger than any giant, so that my feet did not slip. Come on now. Because sometimes your feet could be narrow, right? And narrow feet, you're able to fall over easily. Ain't it? But Yahweh enlarge your steps so that you're not going to fall. You might have some big feet because you walk heavy. Stand on it. Stand on it. Verse 38, I have pursued my enemies and destroyed them, and turned not again until I had consumed them, desolate. Not a remnant left, but the remnant of Yahweh. And I have consumed them and wounded them, that they could not arise. Yea, they are fallen under my feet. Let the dust be dust. Don't kick that dust back up. It's done and over with. Right? Thou hast given me the neck of mine enemies, that I might destroy them that hate me. Right? Thou hast given me the neck of my enemies. That makes you think about the character Guy Maul. Make your enemies even humble. And listen, right? I'm on. I have consumed, let's see, where we at? Sorry, that just threw me off. It sent me on the thought right there. Verse 42, they looked, but there was none to save, even unto Yahweh, but he answered them not. Then did I beat them as small as the dust of the earth. There we go. I did stamp them as the mire of the street, as the mud of the street, and did spread them abroad. Now this is the road that we walk on, right? we done made them dust, and then the righteous waters come, now they're mud. And now it's just an experience that we've been through as we keep on going through, right? Thou hast delivered me from the strivings of my people. Thou hast kept me to be head of the heathen. A people which I knew not shall serve me. Because we are the way. We got to make sure that we're bringing people back to the original intent, right? Strangers shall submit themselves unto me. As soon as they hear, they shall be obedient unto me, because that is the righteous direction. Once people hear this, right, some will spew it back out. But that was purity. That's what purity does sometimes, right? That's what happens. Strangers shall fade away, and they shall be afraid out of their closed places, out of their hiding. Yahweh liveth, and blessed be my rock, and exalted be the Elohim of the rock of my salvation. Exalted be the direction. I will uplift the direction. That will be the weaver's beam. It is Allah him that avengeth me, and that bringeth down the people under me, and that bringeth me forth from my enemies, of all the giants. Thou also have lifted me up on high above them that rose against me. Thou hast delivered me from the violent man. Therefore I will give thanks. I will give praise unto thee, O Yahweh, among the heathen, even in the wicked places, Job. Even surrounded by wickedness, I will still give you praise. That's been my testimony. And I've been talking to my righteous counsel, right, about this. And praise Yah. That standing is so strong that I cannot forget that. I can't. I've tried, like I said before, I've tried to walk away from this. And I walked away and looked at things like the other way, like your boy used to do back in the day, because before I did this, I did something else. I was fishing for the wrong things. And then when I look there, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. And it bothers me that people out here, they won't even give a chance. They won't even be a Gibeonite. Like, think about that. They won't even be a Gibeonite. They won't even care to think about these things. And I look and it hurts me because I worry for them. But, right, remember, as soon as we worry, we're putting ourselves in control. So I say, Abba, do your thing, but it's baffling that people won't even try to at least go for the, now take this in context clues. Like, please be patient with me when I say this. People won't even go for the riches of this thing. Say at least, all right, these things are happening righteously. I want to figure out what you're doing. They might not see that it's Yahweh. They might not be going for the right intent, but they're going to get there eventually because the increase will be there. Right? But many won't even do that. But I guarantee you, as long as we keep standing and keep rocking and keep stepping heavy and walking heavy and being in position, right? It'll be shown, and the right ones will reach out. And when they reach out, grab their hand. Grab their hand. We got to get this together, fam. We got work to do. We got work to do because this world is coming down quickly, as it should. As it should. Just like in the days of Noah, right? But we're going to be in that vessel that's not built with rotten wood. I believe that was in the Book of Wisdom somewhere. Or maybe Sirach. Yeah, I think that was in Sirach right there. Where we won't be that rotten wood vessel. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. It's not on us to cut off. It's on us to let those that come in for however long that season may be there for them. And if they do fall off, be there when they come back in. Be there for them. Because it's not on us to be that judgment. It's the judgment will be in that day. But in that time, as many times as we go back and forth, because our thoughts aren't always his thoughts and our ways aren't always his ways. So even a thought puts us out of place that we should be succumbed to, right? Just like that, these people will go back and forth. Don't look down on them for that. Don't look down on them for that. Be there for them. That's why I realized on this calling, right? The reason why I'm so in tune with this calling is because I, like many others, are going to be nomadic with this, right? We're one body. He's coming back for one body, one people, one sound, one praise, many praises of the same direction, right? And as we're on this walk and coming across many different people, I'm going to keep those at a distance that needs to be at a distance. But I'm going to be there for people that Yahweh has sent me to be in the lives of. And that's what we're supposed to do, fam. That's what we're supposed to do. No matter what rock is thrown at you. Remember, like when people fight and you want to break up that fight and people are swinging, sometimes you just got to hold them. Sometimes you just got to hold them while they're swinging until they get tired of swinging. Because the arms of Yah and the power of Yah of standing of culture of power, that's going to hold them together, right? Literally, that's what's going to hold them. That's what's holding them, right? Praise Yah. Don't let any force stop you from doing that. This walk is not in one place. This walk has many lanes, many streets, many alleys that get dark. You're going to have to pass a lot of dumpsters. You picking up what we putting down? Right? Shalom, Abba Yaz Lily. What's going on, big sis? We just had to keep praying for them. Look how many times people pray for us. Exactly. Just keep praying for them. Keep praying for them. Like, don't be stuck up. Be stuck to the will of the Father, right? Now, again, there are reasons for agreements to end. There are reasons for agreements to end. But the bond is still there. And that's what we got to do, fam. That's what we got to do. Take this with a grain of salt. Don't be out here camping. Don't be out here doing that. You be a representation of the Father. You be a representation of the way. You be that beam of light. That little bit of light, like I was talking about with Pastor Don last week, of the oil and the lamp. Right? Because a lot of people don't know how to go to the storehouse. So have that much oil, so that way you're able to burn your lamp or your torch that much longer. Right? So that way your brother and sister are able to see that when they come back around. But don't think you're better than that. Don't think you're better than that. We are royalty. But we have the riches of the Father that is supposed to be shared with others. That's what we're supposed to do. Don't come into this thing acting like the world. I don't recommend it. Because you're going to have to endure some things and some famine. And you're going to fight through it because you're going to keep looking for these foods and things like that to eat. And it's going to be poisonous. And you're going to poison the body. And it's going to take that much longer to fix it. But the pure thing of Yah is there. Exactly. It will sit you right on down. It'll sit you right on down. I'm telling you that. That's a fact too. It'll sit you right on down. But you had to be abased in order to abound. You had to be sat down in order to look up. Right? Yahweh puts you in that place so that way you had to look up. That's why Yah puts you in those places. Praise Yah. Because he wants to put you in a place where you have no other way but to look for him. I'm going to show people how to do that. Ain't nobody doing that. Study to show yourself approved. Glean from others. Like as you're going on this walk, look at who you're coming across. Right? Peep them out, right? See where they're standing from, but that's where you got to meet them at. That's not for you to turn your back. That's where you got to meet them at. That's not where you got to turn your back. I'm going to say that one more time. That's where you meet them at. That's not where you turn your back. That ain't it. That ain't how we rocking. But I believe that's where we're going to rest right there. Remember that weaver's beam, right? That's holding up all these things. Now, you're going to let that weaver's beam be Yah, or are you going to let that weaver's beam be you? Of the flesh. Right? But that's all I have, fam. I reckon. But yeah. Big Brother, if you got anything to say, you go ahead and say what you like. If anybody else wants to come up, appreciate that. To die. All praise be to the Most High. If anybody wants to come up and say anything they were gleaned to say, they gleaned from that and is led by Ravak to say, don't let that fire be quenched in you. Go ahead and pour it out, because you never know who needs to hear it. That last 30 minutes, whatever, that wasn't part of nothing. Let Ravak lead. Let Ravak lead you. You'll be fine. We all together. But, I'm on.
Bling team. You know me. The thing about
about the garments, I always say what's in you eventually is going to be on you. So if you're still out here a representation of that, that's what you are. Those garments are poison. The seed that it comes from is poison. The effect that it has on us is poison. Even the shoes that we wear. Like the one cool thing we all learned from Moray, he don't wear fancy footwear. He had a Moses 12s on, and lately I've been just walking around barefooted. You see me trying to shoes. I put on shoes now when I had to. So we gonna try to get back to the source as much as possible daily.
Sir, get
that way.
Things.
So perfect lesson, perfect. Yeah, we picked up definitely what you put down, sir. I'm literally I talk to you the most out of everybody. I've been outside a lot, baby Brutal. I sat outside yesterday for like 5 hours.
Come on now. That way.
I received that when you told me about just sitting there working, and yeah, that's why a lot of times I listen to you more than I say anything. You call me Big Bruder, but you my Big Bruder, even though you my baby Bruder. I respect you like an OG, and you know where we come from. So
that way.
That way. But that's all. Glean Team, definitely another great Men's Day. All praises be unto the Most High. We gonna be in position. I'm with you. We locked in. That way. I'm gonna park the truck.
As we say.
I love you to life, sir. Hava.
Love you to life, sir. Big sir. Yes, sir. I love that, man. And that's what I'm saying. Like, even on this walk, I never thought I would come across people that I've come across, and like I used to feel like the outcast a lot, and like I'm not moving right, and a lot of things, man. And the Glean Team, I like that. And new membership is always available. That Glean Team, man. Let's keep on going. Let's keep on doing this thing. That way. If anybody has anything else, I'm trying to see.
Go ahead and drop that solidarity for us right quick, though. Yeah. Let's lock in one time for the fun time.
That way. Drop that solidarity in there. Drop that solidarity up in there. I gotta see how I'll figure it out one day. Cause I be trying. I'm telling y'all, I be trying to type in and get with y'all and stuff like that. But this live thing, I'm gonna figure it out. But yeah, drop that solidarity in there.
They don't let us, baby Bruder. All we can do is tap, and it kind of look weird when you tapping it like in your own live, but that's all we're able to do. Like, right. I tried to figure it out for us too. So, we're kind of limited to just loving each other or turning our camera on and do it the way we do it. So,
yeah. All right, bet. So I ain't tripping there. That way. Drop that solidarity up in there, fam. And let's see if we get some skills going. Yeah, let's pray it out. We're gonna pray it out. We're gonna do that righteously. Yahweh, man, Pops, you're great. You're great. You don't need me to tell. What's that?
I said what you said. If y'all can stand up for us, that's what we've been doing lately. We've been standing up.
Yes, sir. Yeah, let's stand up. I thank you, Tada, for that, sir. Tada for that, because we're gonna make sure we stand in correctly. Exactly.
You know, I jumped right up. You already know.
Yeah, do that. That's what I'm talking about. Do that. That's what I need. I'm on.
That love and that correction is our protection, and we do it thoroughly. That way.
Come on now.
Come on, let's go. I'm gonna mute up and go ahead. Do it.
Yes, sir. I'm on. Yahweh, we come before you yet again to ask you to bend your ear as you do all the time, but especially in this moment as we say, Tada Abba, Tada, for another righteous lesson, and Tada for being the weaver's beam that holds us up, no matter what we go through, no matter the pull away we try to give, no matter the cutting we try to do, no matter how we try to twist ourselves off, that you don't let us go, because once that seed is planted, it must come to fruition. To die for family, to die for love, to die for purity, to die for everything and the greatness that you are. For the winds that carry the seed, for the righteous ground that's able to hold it, and for your increase that's able to sprout up things like this. Man, as we all, I know I'm undeserving, as we all are, but you do still give us the many blessings, and there's never too many blessings, and there's never too much work. And through your will and your way and your strength, we'll have that faith of David. And we might get wound up sometimes, or we might fall sometimes, we might get a base that's, but you taught us how to abound. You gave us the way out of that way to be where we need to be today on this Yom Tada Abba. I'm going to close out this petition with just saying, just be with my family, Yah. Protect them, guide them as we're on this nomadic walk and going to the places that you sent us to go. Because you are our direction. You are our light. You are our standard. And that we are able to still hold those people that are still swinging against you, because they might have some fleshly ways. But that's not going to deter us from love. That's going to make us stronger. And we're going to remember those times. We're not even going to speak of it, but we're going to know that that's what makes these garments strong. Tada Abba. Tada Abba. Oh, you're so great. I'm going to close this out, Pops. Thank you. And your Sham, Sham Yahava, Alakim, Sham Yahashpai. HaMashiach, our Messiah, through his walk, left the Ravak HaKodash. Aman, Aman, and Aman. Aman. Let's see, we're going to play this song. Prayerfully, go ahead and finish out that solidarity. Fellowship with your fam. Link in tomorrow. What's the day? Tomorrow, I believe, we're probably going to be on Sis page tomorrow, Dr. T. I'm pretty sure. I know we're going to still have noonday prayer. Well, we'll look out. How about that? Look out to see where it's going to be at. How about we're going to do that to be the safe way, all that. But, yeah, love y'all, fam. Love y'all. Let's see what we going to play. And y'all start sending me some requests, because I'm a Hezekiah y'all out. I'm telling you. I don't mind it. But, Ahava, fam. Ahava. What is this one? This Endure. Let's see what this one about. Okay, yeah, I remember this one. I'm on.
Praise to the Most High. Hey, last days. Kahala, Hawa, Bahasima Masaya Yasa.
This one for y'all.
Look, it's right here for my Hebrews. Don't fold.
What's up, Buddha Four Corners? Come on now. What's up, fam?
A real diamond, an arbor, like let me test it. If you make it through that, then you get your blessing. It won't prosper, but you gon' see that weapon. Through the blood of a marsh, y'all get protection. And y'all come about the word, you need an exit.
Get some scriptures too. Four Corners be dropping them things, man.
I pray we make it through the tribulation.
And if you feel led, Buddha, go ahead and send up a request. I know Big Buddha got his live going on at 2:30, but we still got some time if you want to drop any seeds. If not, we cool. We coolin'. Great to see you, brother.
I'm watching what I do,
Great
watching
to
what I
see
say. What man of person I be up in that day, I don't want the
And that Passover looked righteous, man. I saw that.
Why that old lady on land? You knew I was coming, why you told me that? If I don't spit angels, I ain't spin you. These the end times, so be careful. Bleed the blood, cause the devil about to dare you. To keep oil in that lamp, you need a bare fruit. The commandments is the lamp, the law is the light. I'ma share, I led the way so we could get it right. Conversation with the rock, keep my spurs up. Every Shabbat, call Mikael, yeah, he know what up. And at that time, Mikael gon' stand for him.
There are yet his greater things that be, for we have seen but a few of his works. Come on now. I know that one. We've only seen a little bit of what y'all can do. Come on now. That's just the beginning.
Yeah, ball in our hands, Babylon fumble. We come back to the Father, Babylon crumble.
He has given his wisdom. Come on now. Come on now.
In the secret place can cover like a tunnel. Can we all come together like we about to huddle? And we all ride together like we on a shuttle. These the end times, watching for the devils. Trying to elevate
to another level. Keep on leveling up, man.
I pray the Most High elevate you. I pray the Most High put that fire back in me. Keep that oil in your lamp. Love y'all.
Increase. Come on now. Oh, we're gonna play this one out too. This last 2 minutes, we're gonna go a little over, but I saw this song and we're gonna play this one out. Come on now. That's my jam. I couldn't let that one go. Oh man, you already know that one, bro. Come on, bro.
Your bloodline made it through that slavery. We made it through the waters as a baby. Your bloodline made it through that persecution. You made it through the waters, he know you the future.
Gotta act like it. Come
Covered
on,
in
man.
the ark, cause he know he gon' use you. Grew up around saying Aki on the usual. Then we see the affliction of the people. It'll make you kill a man, all the evil.
Come on, man. All of them on repeat too. I'm gonna play it out.
We gon' speak the truth, cause it came from above.
Ahava.
Flee from the crowd, y'all tired of I'm a hook. Brought to a people that serve the eagle. When the water's given to another people. We the modern day Moses. Made it out the waters, no mistake, we was chosen. Modern day Moses. Modern day Moses. Modern day Moses. Thank you, Father. Modern day Moses. Modern day Moses. Modern day Moses. Yeah. Stretch your hands to the heavens, I'll reach. Put this staff in your hand, I'll teach. To create the dumb and the blind. Don't worry what you got, go deliver my sheep. Tell Joe Biden ain't saying nothing. You won't go tell these people that these players coming. We the modern day Moses. Babylon falling out, deliverance is closer. Modern day Moses. Modern day Moses. Modern day Moses. Modern day Moses.
Isaiah, you made this.
Modern day Moses. Hallelujah. Yeah.
In this day and time, we all supposed to be modern day Moses. Deliver our people out of bondage of their mind, out of their physical condition, and bringing them back to the Most High. And if we ain't doing that, what good are we to the Most High? If we just get the information without the revelation to do something.
All for your glory. Thank you, Father. All for your glory. All for your praise. This is your story. The ancient of days. All for your glory. All for your name. This is your story. The ancient of days. All for your glory. All for your praise.
All for your glory, all for your praise.
This is your story. The ancient of days. All for your glory. All for your name.
I'm gonna ride out to this one today. I'm gonna go see my parents today, but I'm gonna ride out to this one. Come on now. I'm on. Love y'all, fam. Ahava. I'll see who I see tomorrow. I'll see who I see today. I'll speak to who I speak to tomorrow, and I'll speak to who I speak to today. But one thing we're gonna do is pray. That's it. Love y'all, fam. Love y'all. I'm on. Mayasa Pake, was it Malachi Kings, Malachi's, the wives and the producers of Kings. We thank y'all. We thank y'all for the fellowship. Until next Thursday on here, but then tomorrow we'll be on Sis page. Look out to who it is, where it's gonna be. Yeah, that's it. That's all. That's the word. Ahava, fam. Till next time.